Good morning, Coldwell Banker. It is another wonderful August day, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. Do I look like a priest? I do look like a priest, don't I?
Thank you for coming to CB
yes,
Church.
Exactly. Father Todd is here in the house, and
Father Todd.
we're gonna talk about the market reports and the quarterly reports and the area reports. But before we do, I need to introduce to you somebody very special that has come on board with us. Her name is Annie. She is the first. Come on in. Say hi, Annie.
Hey, everyone.
She's the first of our marketing coordinators that we have promised to hire and have in the different offices. So Annie is going to be in the Southeast Metro office as well as the Devonshire office, and she will be training those agents. And we have 4 other marketing coordinators that are in the works, are being interviewed, are being hired, et cetera, but Annie's the first of them, so we're so excited to have Annie. So she is going to be a part of this off to the side, so you can move off to the side now. So she's going to be off to the side, just kind of witnessing what takes place as it relates to training in the market reports world, because she's going to be doing that in the Southeast Metro office and Devonshire office. But again, as we get the 4 additional marketing coordinators in each office, they'll be training hands-on in the offices on all the different systems and tools and resources that we have at Coldwell Banker, which is all a part of the culture of awesomeness and our core 4 values. So after rambling on, we'll go into the market reports. And the first thing I need each one of you to do here is go to CB Agent Info. I'm sorry, go to the NRT Gateway. Go to the NRT Gateway and log into the NRT Gateway. For those of you that are following real-time, hands-on with your computers in front of you, nrtgateway.com, and then you're going to log into the nrtgateway.com. And once you're there, and I'm not going to save this, this is what the NRT Gateway looks like in the event that you haven't been here. And go ahead and if you're taking notes, just take copious notes. First step is to get to the NRT Gateway and log in. Next step is to find the market reports, so you can actually watch what we're doing now because we're not on camera. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Market Reports tab and click on the Market Reports button, and it will single sign on into the market reports, okay? So everybody needs to be at this point, whether you're real-time live or you're following by notes. And as we get everybody kind of caught up here, just so everybody is aware of what the market reports entail. So in correlation with the AVP, which is our Agent Value Package, which is our way of enabling you to reach out to your clients on a monthly basis relative to events that take place that we offer to you to reach out to your clients that are completely unrelated to real estate. So the most recent AVP event that went out this past Tuesday, as it relates to the American Heart Association and inviting your clients to take part in that, or the Night at the Rockies that we had back in July, where 12,000 clients attended and filled the stands, or the Santa photos that we do in December, or the sweepstakes, all the various AVP events that take place each month, enabling you to reach out by email, but also more importantly, following up with the phone call to contact your people. We know that when you're able to reach out and contact your people about things that are unrelated to real estate, we know the conversation most often turns to real estate. And when that happens, we know the deals are sure to follow. So that is the monthly AVP and the events specific to the AVP. Now the other side of the AVP is the data or the market-related information that you, agents, have requested to be able to send to their clients on a regular basis. So we have the event side of it, and now we have the market-related, the stats, the graphs, the awesome ability to have you as the authority in the real estate sector to demonstrate what's occurring in the market as it relates to the industry. So hopefully everybody is up to speed is sitting here at the market reports after I rambled on and explained why the difference. A lot of rambling from Father Todd here. So the first thing I want you to do is go to the top right corner of your screen, which will have your name, and it may have your photo, may not. But in the upper right corner, there's a little arrow down. You'll click on that, so then you're able to click on the profile link. So where it says profile, click on that. And then we'll come to a screen where it has personal information, phone number, social media, all that good stuff. We're going to kind of roll through it. Your first and last name that comes in from a feed, if you don't like that because it's more formal, whatever your license name is, but you want to change it, type in the field your preferred full name. And then the next line down, designation, whether there's anything there or not, that's where you can put in your real estate professional designation, whether you're a realtor or a coldwell banker broker associate, however you market yourself, along with your other additional designations, your CRS, your GRI, and so on and so forth. That's the designation field. Your email address, we get that in a feed. If you want to change that, next field down, preferred email address, feel free to update that however you like, as well as your agent website. I'm thinking you'll probably want to put your InTouch website or whatever your designated URL is. So if you have a vanity URL, go ahead and insert that in the preferred agent website field in the event that the agent website in the feed is coming in different than what you want, okay? Don't worry about the license number, nothing to attend to there. Then we're going to scroll down, and there's a chance your photo may already be there in this area. If it's not, then you can attach it by clicking on Attach File. It'll open up a folder. You find your agent photo, your portrait photo, your professional photo, wherever it is on your hard drive, and then you click on Open and then Save, okay? Just be mindful of the maximum file size, or the what do you call this stuff? What do you call it? Resolution. The specs. The specs. These are the specs that the photo needs to be. If you already have your photo for websites and New Panda and so forth, that would be a good photo that you could easily reuse in this area. Now, once we generate the report, in the event that your photo isn't already here and you don't have your photo handy, there's a chance that the photo may be coming in from a feed. And once we generate a report, you'll be able to see that at a later time, okay? So personal ID, don't worry about that. We're moving down to now phone numbers. There may be phone numbers already in the feed, but if you want to change those, or if you want to just have your preferred phone number of cell and whatever other number you want to add to it, that's where you do that in these drop-down fields. Put in your phone numbers. And then now we're going to get into the social media, okay? So I'm going to quickly just stand by. Wait a minute. I don't think I have any reports. I think I deleted them all. Oh, lovely. Well, I was going to use an example of what I was trying to get accomplished, but that's not going to happen right now. So instead, we're going to go back and we're going to create these little icons, these little social media buttons that would appear across the bottom underneath your signature block inside these reports, okay? And I'm going to share with you our company social media buttons in the event that you want to have those link through to from your reports out. In the event that either you don't have a Twitter account or you don't have a blog, or if your Facebook page isn't something that you want your clients to see on a regular basis, you're welcome to use the company one. So that said, go ahead and we'll type in twitter.com/Coldwell Bank, the letter R. Yes, there's no E. It's the letter R, capital C, capital O. Okay, and I'll try to put this up on the screen. This is an Apple, so I don't like to use Apple. See, why doesn't it just, where is the dang thing? How come it won't pop? The dock. Oh, there it is. It's very finicky. Okay, I'm a PC guy. Okay, I'm clicking, okay. I'm also clicking, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste the URL inside this Word doc. I'm going to hopefully enlarge it enough so that you can see it on the actual screen. So there's your Twitter account. That if you don't have Twitter and you want to use our company Twitter, it's twitter.com/Coldwell Bank R. Again, no E. R, capital C, capital O. Why there's no E, don't ask. We didn't have it available, so that is what we were able to land on. But let me quickly open it up just so you can see what we are getting into and what you're getting into as well. And here's what our Twitter account looks like, which we will be sure to manage and maintain and keep looking sharp and content driven and so forth. Okay, so that is twitter.com/Coldwell Bank R, and this would be the little button across the bottom that will get you to Twitter in the event that you don't want to use your own. Now I need to go back. Where am I going back? Firefox. So glad Annie's here. Okay, so LinkedIn, you should have your own LinkedIn account. I'm not going to obviously have you enter my LinkedIn account, so find your own LinkedIn account so you can create your button yourself. The next one's going to be Facebook, facebook.com/CB Colorado/CB Colorado. I'll put this up on the screen so you can see it. Nice, and which one is it? Command?
Yep.
Command V. Command V. Facebook.com/CB Colorado is the URL that you may want to consider using in the event that you don't want to have your own personal Facebook out there for all to see. Here is what it looks like relative to the company one that, again, will keep current and sharp and looking nice for your folks to click through. It probably has similar content and articles and so forth as Twitter, but again, you don't have to worry about keeping it current and up to date, and you know that what your people would be seeing is all very client friendly. Is that a good word? Client friendly. All right, back to Firefox. Firefox. All right. The next one is our blog, Colorado Homestyle. ColoradoHomestyle.com is the blog that you'll want to consider using. And I'll put that up on the screen, ColoradoHomestyle.com. And then we will go in and we'll take a look what the blog looks like from your vantage point. Rest assuring that it's going to be uber friendly, uber good, uber nice. And if you're not a blogger and you don't want to think about blogs or posting blogs and all that kind of stuff, just let us do that for you. And this is where the little button across your signature line would click through to all the recent stories, which again are very similar in kind to what's out on social media. You can see how it all kind of ties together. One thing I'll share with you as a little side note, which you may want to consider when it comes to sharing these type of articles on your own social media, is I'm going to click on this article about the next phase of the 5280 loop is underway. I believe it has to do with the light rail or something like that. So if you want to share this on your own Facebook, again, this is a little bonus, a little sidebar note, separate of the market reports, but you may want to take note. You'll click on the article inside of our blog. The beautiful thing about this is you didn't have to think about the article. You don't have to write the article. All you have to do is click on the Facebook icon or any one of your favorite social media buttons across the bottom. Did you know there's this, did you know Sumo Me? Sumo Me is a social media outlet.
No, I did not.
But anyone that's out there on Sumo Me, knock yourself out. Feel free to share away on Sumo Me. I'm just trying to keep up with Facebook, let alone anything else. So click on the Facebook icon, and you'll see here it'll pop up a little window. This is where you'll probably want to type in something that is engaging for your people to see, and then they will respond to your post. So do you use the light rail? Light rail often? Maybe not. Often to get around. And if it's all right with Katrina, I'm going to post it on her wall. she can either delete it later or she can just get overwhelmed with incredible feedback from people.
I love that every time we do these, I get a ton of feedback off of everything we post from
Do you
there.
really?
I do.
No way.
The thing about the llamas,
Oh, really?
hiking with the llamas,
Did that blow up?
everybody loved it.
Did that break
Yep.
Facebook?
Broke Facebook.
Oh my gosh, broke the internet. And this looks like a year ago today, Katrina was in the back of a school bus blowing it up partying. Where were you going? It's in your memories.
Yep.
Okay.
Probably
What
to
happens?
Napa.
What happens in the back of the Facebook? Or the boss stays in the back of the bus. Okay, so here's the article that we just posted that I was showing you. I know we're a little off track here, but we're still having a lot of fun, aren't we? So do you use light rail to get around? And we'll see what happens from there once the Facebook responses come crashing through. But just take a look at that. That's how you can share articles out of our blog, whatever they may be. Again, a little side note. So ColoradoHomestyle.com is our blog for you to consider using as a little link or a little button in your signature block as it relates to your market reports. And the last one that we will share with you that's company related is Pinterest.com/CB Colorado. And if you're not huge in pinning and Pinteresting and pinnering and whatever else goes on out there in the world of Pinterest, this is Pinterest.com, which is /CB Colorado. And we'll take a look at what that looks like. If you're not on Pinterest, feel free to use ours, which your clients could link through and have a look at what we do as it relates to Pinterest. We have an Instagram account that's in the works, but if you have a better Instagram, I think Instagram is typically fairly safe when it comes to what you would want to have your people look at or share or see, especially in the space of real estate, because Instagram and Pinterest are huge when it comes to interactive content, photos. It's all about the photos. Because a photo is worth 1,000 words. But here's the Pinterest.com/CB Colorado that you would want to perhaps consider using in your signature line, and that is where that would appear as such. I'm dismissing this for our calendar. And then Instagram, you could always put your own in there, okay? Next, as we move down, we're going to look at layouts. So this is where you're going to be able to choose the layout or the look of your report. So you can select from a number, I think there's 31 or 21 different images that you can choose that you would want to have as a part of the header. Whether it's Colorado photos or housing or Denver or Boulder or balloons, this is mine in particular. So click on the radial button. There are 31 of them, including the lighthouse at Chatfield Reservoir. Kidding. No lighthouses at Chatfield Reservoir. So pick the layout that you like best. That's the image that will appear at the top of your reports. If you would rather have your own photo used, because you have a killer photo of the backdrop of downtown Boulder, Littleton, whatever, Fort Collins, or you have a photo of you in front of a yard sign that you like to use, or whatever your favorite photo is that you would want, you're welcome to always attach those here. Just be mindful again of the specs and the sizes of those photos, as noted here. I'm not going to go into those any further. And then moving down, these are all the preset intros for each of the reports. We've already preset them for you. You can edit them if you want. But if you choose to change anything in this, any of these fields, you'll want to be mindful of the character count. So I would not go any further beyond the character counts that you see here preset, because we've got them just right so there's no breakage in the pages, or the other thing is there's not too much copy. You want to keep them short, sweet, and to the point, because people these days are really not interested in reading a lot of material. So we have them all preset. You can tweak them as you like. One for the area report, quarterly report, one for the market report, and so on, okay? If you do not want to have any intro at all in the reports, you would change the no to yes when it says hide intro, okay? So change no to yes for each one of those. And once we generate the report, I'll remind you back to this and what it looks like and where it appears, okay? So that should pretty much take care of everything. Nothing more to worry about down below. That's your profile in a nutshell, all set to go. So now go ahead and click on Save if you haven't already saved it a couple times. Click on Save in the right corner, and we should be spiffy and ready to go to generate the report. So the next thing I want you to do is click on Contacts. Good? Mm-hmm. And he approves. Mm-hmm. So we're going to click on Contacts, and we're going to generate or create a new contact. And most likely it's going to be you in the event that you've never been in here to create a contact. So you'll be the first contact ever. And the reason we want to set you up as a contact is because I need you to start receiving these reports on a regular basis before you go prime time with sending these out to your people, okay? So go ahead and click on New. And then you're going to, very simply, once it decides to come around, we're going to set it up where you're going to enter your first name and your last name, okay? Your first name and last name. It will auto-populate your cover salutation, okay? So it'll automatically come in. And in just a second, we're going to talk about something here. But you can also, if you want the Global Luxury logo on some of your reports, whether you're a Global Luxury agent or not, you can always send these out relative to specific Global Luxury marketplaces based on price points, based on clientele, and the Global Luxury logo will replace the Coldwell Banker logo. So you can do, that's what this is all about. You can click on yes, and the Global Luxury, the new Global Luxury logo will appear in your reports. So back to the cover salutation. For you and your report specifically, okay, or I'm sorry, your contact specifically, nobody else going forward, but for you yourself, I want you to draw a line or create a line in this cover salutation. Going forward, you'll always want to, make sure the salutation has your client's name, which auto-populates. But for you yourself, I want you to hold the Shift key down, and then I want you to use the key to the immediate right of the 0 in the keyboard, okay? So on your keyboard, find the button to the right of the 0 up across the top, and hold down the Shift key and draw a line. And the reason I want you to do this is because you'll see here when we generate the report, particularly when you're going to be using and sharing these reports on social media, the last thing you want to do is have it say, dear, your name, or dear, your, any kind of salutation, but instead a line. Now, there are those that have changed it so it says, dear all my Facebook friends, which then, that works too. But I think it looks cleaner and just more official, almost like a piece of stationery, if you will, with the line across the top. So that on your own contact, only yours, and the report that we're going to create for your practice, if you will, and if you ever want to share a report specifically on social media, the line is important. So then you type in your primary email address, so the email, your own real email address that you want to start receiving reports from, or to, that is. Type that in. And then you also have 2 additional fields that you can add for coworkers, spouses, investors, whatever. That's where you have those 2 additional fields. No need for phone numbers, no need for any additional information here. We'll talk about creating a group that you would send to a larger group of possible, a farm or whatever it is. So we'll talk about that here in a second. That's what these are. You don't have any groups, most likely. So now that we got your first name, last name, line drawn for you, and your contact email, then you will go ahead and click on Save. Save and close, actually. So I'm not going to click on Save and Close me myself because I have plenty of contacts already set up. And you should see your own contact once you click on Save and Close in the contact fields or in the contact list. And over time, you're going to start adding to those and so on, okay? So you can go in and edit them as you like. You can delete or trash them as you like, and so on. Now the next thing I want to do is show you how to quickly create a group. So imagine you have a sphere or you have a farm that you want to send it to, okay? And you're going to click on the Groups button or tab in the left menu, Groups, and then click on New. And then you're going to name the group. So name your group, so you can do sample group or whatever you want to do here. Type it in, sample group. How are we doing on time? Long on the tooth? Doing good. Okay, so create the group, and then make sure always click all the boxes. The 4 boxes, check them all. And I'll show you why momentarily. But always, when you're creating a group, go ahead and click on all those boxes, so they're all checked. And then you'll see here the sample group that we just created or whatever you just created. You can edit it and so on. So now back in contacts, okay, so we're going back to the contact. We're going to click on the edit button, the paper pencil edit button. And when you click on the edit button, you should now see in your groups the sample group, which in this case for you, it's probably going to be the only group. So you'll click on that. So now this contact, you're going to appear or go into this sample group. So for your individual contacts, you'll want to always, if you're going to create a group list, especially if this is all brand new to you, and you haven't started working within this environment in this program, it's a perfect time to start generating groups that you can send to, okay? The one thing that is super important, okay, hear me out on this. You do not want to take your new Panda list or whatever massive list you have unless you know that this is a sphere that you're going to send a report to specific to that area on a regular basis. You do not want to take your contact list and dump it into the market reports contacts, because that's one way that you can become unsubscribed and on the spam list really fast if you're sending them random reports or irrelevant reports to a recipient where they're like, why am I getting these reports? I don't want them. So don't ever just take your reports and dump them in there. I'm sorry, your contacts, and dump them into a massive group list. But if you want, I mean, you can import group or import contacts. So in contacts, there's the import export contact tab, and you can do so by importing a CSV. Okay, so that's where that all takes place, and you can attach a group to or a list of contacts to a group. But be very mindful in going down that path. I don't recommend you do that. Instead, just kind of cherry pick your contacts and who you want the reports to go to over time. Right now, you're just setting yourself up as a contact, and then we're now going to generate a market report. Okay, so click on the market report button on the left menu, and then we're going to click on New. Are you getting all this?
Yep.
Annie's getting it. How are we doing out there in the world of training? Any massive questions or pandemonium, confusion? Should be pretty straightforward. So now we're going to create a report name. So this is where, when you're generating a report, you're going to say the, what are we going to do? We're going to do Greenwood Village report, okay? And when you're naming this report, you're going to name it where this is for the Smiths, because over time, you're going to start generating a lot of reports, and in order to keep it organized and all making sense for you as to whose report is based, relative to who, you're probably always going to want to name it by a dash and the last name, or however you want to name the report. So Greenwood Village report dash the Smiths, and then now we're going to jump over the search criteria button. We'll be back here, or the field that is. We'll be back in a moment. Go to contacts, click on browse, find your name in the contact field that we've created, so your own contact, and that will populate the that field there. And you cannot, in this case, add additional contacts. That's where Bless me,
Bless you.
Father Todd.
Father
Thank you.
Todd, bless you.
Can I get it? Amen. Hallelujah. So anyhow, you cannot add additional contacts at this space. This is where you'll go back into the fields and add additional ones, or if you have a group, that's where you'll do that. So your contact name is here. Under frequency for you, I want you to select on one day, so that way you start receiving the report today and every day going forward until you decide you want to get rid of it. That way you're able to have a good sense and feel of how these reports look and how you're able to communicate within them when your people start perhaps calling you or emailing you on certain areas. Okay, so back to so you can decide whether this is a buyer, seller, prospect, or investor. So when we go back to those fields in your profile where I told you not to edit them or mess with the character count, each one of those are worded specifically to whether or not the client is a buyer, seller, prospect, or an investor. Prospect, of course, is very generic. There's no talk about when it's time to sell or when it's time to buy and all that jazz, just very generic. In the future, you'll always want to make sure that you're copying yourself. So in the future, click yes. Whether you want to do now or do so now or not is up to you. You can have an expiration date for you or your clients by using the calendar that's there available to you. You can also decide how many different listings appear in the report. So, kind of be mindful on how many properties you want to fill up a report with. If you select on 100 and there's 100 or more or up to 100 listings in the report findings, that could drag on and on and on in the report. So you may want to kind of meet in the middle and go with 50, but know that you can do what you want there. You can also name the report and name it from a titling standpoint. So up here we named it for your own in-house knowledge. Here you can name it with a title bar inside the report. So it can be the Greenwood Village Report, compliments of your name, whatever you want to do there. Okay, sound good? All right, so now if you want to send it to a specific group, this is where you'll select the group that you would send it to, okay? In your sample group, you can send that to your sample group, but this is where this report in particular is being sent if you select it to your people as such, okay? Now, let's cruise back up to the search criteria, okay? And then do click on Edit or the field. Click on Edit, 10 minutes to roll. So I clicked on the Edit, and then it opens up a whole list of various search criteria. So you can search by an address. So if you have a property address and you want to pull a report surrounding that radius, you can do so based on, obviously quarter mile, 25 miles out, etc. Or if you have a property MLS ID number, you can type that in and do the same here, okay? You can select whether you want actives, under contract, solds, expireds, withdrawns. You can get down as granular as price, property type, and whether it's income, land, residential, or you can go subtype, is it single family, condo, etc. So you have the ability to really get down to some nitty-gritty information on how much detail or how detailed you want these reports to be and how specific. But I kind of recommend against going into some of this granularness, if you will. Is that a word, granularness?
Yeah, it is.
It is now. Hashtag it. So with that said, you can decide how granular you want to go, how far back you want to go on pulling active listings that are days on the market and so on and so forth, okay? So you can really go into that level of detail. My suggestion is to go, instead of doing addresses and MLS numbers, which you can, by all means, I think the map feature is far more effective in being able to get in and really drill down to certain areas that you want to create reports on. So when you click on the map search, it's going to give you that same field or that same window that we've just been in prior to with all the different criterias. There's a little double arrow icon in the right corner of this field or window. Double click on that so it will compress that and enables you now to get into the map. Okay, so you can take the mouse and you can hold your mouse key down and you can drag the map in. You can zoom in with your mouse, you can zoom out with your mouse. Now that I am going to hone in on kind of the Greenwood Village area, so we're going to draw a radius. So unlike the MLS number or property address, you have these tools in the right corner that you can draw and create a search area to generate the report. The polygon is where you can draw point to point if you want to really get down into specific sub areas. But I'm going to go with the rectangle, so I'm going to click on the rectangle button. You go ahead and click your mouse button once on the screen, on the map, and then you release it and drag it. So then, once you get to a point where you want it to stop drawing it, you release the mouse button, or you click the mouse button again, and it will stop drawing. So, and then just quick name it, whatever. There's nothing of importance here. I don't even know why it has it, but there it is. So now we're going to see the information that comes in based on the report and the criteria that I had selected earlier. So there's a ton of listings that comes into the report. You can zoom in and get even more information specific to those different properties. So here you can click on this and it will show you the 3 properties that are either available. This one was sold, this one was sold, this one was sold, and the pricing and so forth. So those kind of show you what's within those specific areas that the report is pulling, okay? So you can zoom in, zoom out. You can even go in and remap it or resize it. So if you want a greater area, a smaller area, you can just grab the corners and drag and drop as such. Okay, so now we're going to click on OK, and it's going to autofill the criteria that we've created for that specific report, and then we're going to click on Preview Report. All right, now we're previewing. How long does this go to? 11?
45.
45?
We can do 50.
I haven't even gotten through the market report. Anyways.
That's
So,
right, 11 class.
okay, perfect. This is market reports. We'll try to get to area reports. Man. All right, so here's the report. In the preview, here are the little buttons that we created that you can click on. There's your signature block. Hopefully your photo came in. If not, go back and upload it at some point. Here's a snapshot of the report itself. You can click on these little buttons, and it'll take you into specific areas of the report. And then from here, you'll see all the MLS data that's coming in, sale data, sold data, graphs.
We've got a question.
Ask away.
Hi, Todd.
Hey.
I use the market reports every day for a listing lead service. I have so many of them that my dashboard is overflowing. Is there any way to create a folder so I can move them into?
No. But that's a good suggestion. I'd have to go back to the programmers and ask them to create folders so you can organize them inside that. But the short answer, currently not, but something that we can take back to the programmers and see if that's something that can be done for a later time. So, not exactly the answer you're looking for, which would have been yes, but instead, unfortunately, no. But something that we could look at. All right, so moving on, here's all the market data specific to the real-time MLS information. These links are all clickable that you can click on. Scrolling further down, here is the actual real-time inventory. And if you click on any one of these, it takes you in from a consumer standpoint. You can see the inside of the home and the additional photos and so on and so forth, as if this were your listing. It looks like it's your listing, even though it is marketed by, I'm not sure, who's this? This is a Metro Broker, Brigham and Company listing. The other thing that's kind of cool, if you've never played with Google Maps, and you click on the Google Map icon, and you have the street view little guy. It's always fun to drag him from a consumer standpoint. You can drag him and drop him right on top of the house, and then you get the street view, and you can see the lady that's walking her little boy or little kid or a little whatever. And we even had it once where we had a biker, a cyclist, and we tried to run him over with this thing, but it didn't really do much. So, but you can see here, you can drive up and down the street, you can look at the houses, you can look at the neighborhood, which is when you're sending these type of reports to out-of-state buyers or someone that's not familiar with the area, and you're able to demonstrate that right inside the report itself, and you didn't have to do anything but click a few buttons. That's pretty sweet. And again, what you do there is you click on this map button inside a particular listing, and you can zoom in doing street view. So if you like what you see in the report, you close the preview window, and then you click on Save and Send, and that's where you will start getting those reports as of today and every day starting tomorrow. Okay? Now let's just quickly go to the area report. So I'm going to click on area report. Now these are specific to sub-areas. So click on area report, click on new. We're going to quickly generate an area report. Now these are specific to sub-areas inside a community. So let's go and we'll name it Greenwood Village Sub-Area Report, and you can narrow it down as you like. The Smiths. We're going to click you as a contact because you want to start receiving these reports. You're going to get the first one today, but it comes out the first week of every month. Okay, so these are monthly. The first week of every month is when that report comes through. You're going to want to make sure that you're definitely copied because you're not going to think about it until later in the month when it comes out. We're going to click on Browse, okay, and we're going to click on Search. And I want you to click on, let's see, we're going to type in Greenwood Village. And you click on Search, and then you're going to get the sub-areas inside Greenwood Village specific to Arapahoe County as a whole, or you have the landmark, and so on and so forth, okay? So that is Greenwood Village as a whole. I'm going to pull that report. You can select a group if you like. Make sure you always select yourself when you are wanting to copy that. And then we're going to preview this report. And this is where, again, there's your photograph, there's your contact information, there's your buttons. Now this is more static data, okay? So this is more market data that's aggregated from the month prior, okay? So this is July information specific to Greenwood Village as a whole, and it is graphically enhanced. There is no real listings, no real properties. This is perfect to be able to send out to people that are moving to a specific area. You can demonstrate what the market's doing, or if somebody's looking to sell, you can again be the authority in what the market's doing. And then best of all, if you're doing an open house in this specific area, just prior to going on that open house or going to that open house, print these off in color and have them either to hand out, or agents, better yet, instead of handing them out, what they are doing is they're having just one copy on hand that says, oops, sorry, this is my last report, but I'd love to be able to send you this, a report like this on a regular basis. If you give me your contact information, I'll be sure to add you to my distribution list or get you a report as soon as possible. And when you do not necessarily give them the report, that enables them to say, ooh, I want something of value that you have to offer. And the chances of you getting an actual email address that's accurate is much greater than just having a sign-in log that oftentimes may not always get you the right contact information. People sometimes will mistakenly provide a false email address. But if you have something of value like this, that's where it works out perfect for an open house. You could also hand deliver these in a farm area. If you walk a sphere or walk a farm, print them in color. They look super sharp, and you attach your business card to them. Perfect way to engage with your people, okay? So that is the area report. Make sure you save and send that, and make sure that you're copied on it. You're going to get it once a month because it comes out the first week of each month. And then just to wrap up, the quarterly reports are hot off the press. They just came out about a month or two ago. We're going to create a new one. These come out quarterly, so the first week of the new quarter. and it aggregates the data from the prior quarter. So I'm going to say Greenwood Village, the Smiths, quarterly report, etc. Okay, and then you're going to go browse your contact. You're going to find yourself, and make sure that you find yourself is a contact. And then from here, we're going to, again, go in and we're going to search for Greenwood Village. And what this is going to do is generate the information similar to the area report, but is more aggregated information for the entire quarter and the county as a whole. Okay, so you can search by counties, you can search by sub areas, and then within that report, so we're going to generate a report. You'll see here that it has a different look, different cover image, and then inside this quarterly report, you can drill down to specific areas, and then whether it's a monthly report that you want to have a look at specific to that area, which is similar to the quarterly report. So instead of necessarily sending out the quarterly report, you would have a monthly area report, let's say, and then here's the quarterly. When you click on the Q for Aurora, you will then have all the sub areas inside of Aurora that you can drill down even further, that is. And it's a pretty robust report specific to a quarter as a whole, okay? And it comes out the first week of every quarter. So if you like what you see, go ahead and click on Save and Send, and that report will go out as such. So in a matter of moments, we have set up your profile, we've set you up as a contact, we've generated a market report, area report, and a quarterly report. You have learned how to set up a group and to add contacts into those groups. And then just in brief, before we wrap up here, you can always go in and check out the analytics. Right now that you're not going to have much for analytics, but you can, over time, take a look at who has done what with your reports, okay? And that's where the analytics and the reporting can be observed, if you will, by clicking on whatever it is you want. Click on Show Report, and it will create the analytics or the activity that has taken place inside each of your reports. So there you have it. As far as the overall market reports as it relates to the AVP, it's another way for you to reach out to your clients, and it is another way for you to be the authority in the marketplace. Perfect for sending to your sphere, perfect to print off right before open houses, both the market or area report as well as the quarterly report. And it's just another tool and system that we have to offer at Coldwell Banker that will set you apart from the competition, but most importantly, enable you to engage and communicate with your clients on a regular basis in a very professional and simple manner. So there you have it. Have a great day.